When are we going live? Like now or
We're going
soon?
live now, Dave.
Oh,
We are
live now. Hey, everybody. How you doing today?
How's it going, guys? I see you all in here early. We got
Who do we-
Susan, we got Michelle, we got
JJ
JJ
Slot Play.
is here.
Yeah.
It
We
was really
met
great
Joe
to
and
meet you
Penny.
guys, although briefly. Donna, Leona, Dan's 30,
We got
Michelle.
Humble Primate, also known as Proud Monkey. Robin R. and Tazzy and Joe. Look at all these people.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Wait a minute. Is that the same Sherman?
I hope it's Sherman.
I think that's Sherman. Yep.
It is
Hey,
Sherman. Sherman, I hope you're swimming in your winnings. Man, that guy was killing it.
Yeah, he was killing
Absolutely killing it. No matter what machine he touched, he was doing well on. It was fun to see.
Good one right off the bat from Brian. I heard Winstar was chaos on Sunday.
Oh,
I'm sure Mark didn't mention it.
Gosh, we were just talking about that. That stupid line was ridiculous to get a vacuum.
I cannot believe how long that line was. Like, we just kept walking, and it was 100 yards long, 200 yards long, 300 yards long. I don't know. It was ridiculously long line, and then it would wrap around.
Field, maybe longer than that. Yeah, it was ridiculous, and that was before they even started. This was like an hour before they started handing things out. So
Mark and I had breakfast. Let's just check the line. There's already 100 people in line. 5 hours before they're gonna start handing them out. I'm like, nope. Right then, I made the decision.
It's not that good of a vacuum. We looked it up, and it's like $40. It's like,
right?
Nah. I mean, if it was like an iPhone 14 Pro Max or something, I would be in that line waiting. But
I'm standing in that line all day long.
That's not what it was. It was pretty crazy. And man,
hey,
it worked. They've got a lot of people in there. And then Sunday night, I was just telling Dave, Dave left early, and I had a room there for the night. And I was like, I want to do one more video for you guys. So I was going to go down and do the Red Hot Ruby 5 line, which we always play, and kind of explain why we always play that. And I'm like, I'll just go to the non-smoking room. There's always ones open. Every single one of them. There's like 3 or 4 banks of the quarter ones, I think, maybe 3. And they were all taken. And even the dollar ones were taken. And I just said, screw this. I got to do something else. And so I tried to find a quiet corner to do that daily tip that you guys saw me do about being in a crowded casino. I had to do that take 4 times because people kept walking up behind me and staring at the camera.
You should just let it sit. Like, hey,
I know. This guy stops right behind me on his phone, and then he starts staring at the camera. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to do a video. But that was the time where my anxiety just went through the roof, and I said, I'm going up to my room, and I'm ordering room service, and I'm staying in there the rest of the night. And, that's what I ended up doing, and it was great. I slept really good that night.
I'm still shocked.
It was crazy, though. I had never seen
St. Patrick's Day, plus the giveaway, plus just the regular Sunday crowd, which is big anyway.
Yeah.
And it was just packed. Like, when I got there on Sunday morning, tons of spots in the garage. Like, I had a spot, I say 2 spots down from the actual door.
Right.
So walked right in, no problem at all. When I left, there were 13 cars waiting for my one spot.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, guys, give up. Go to the parking lot.
Yeah. It was I've just never seen it that full before. And I thought we've seen it already when that weekend where there was 2 concerts going on. We thought that was bad.
I thought the Air Supply and Toby Keith was worse. Yeah. I thought that was so much worse.
I think
and then
Tim
all
McGraw,
of a sudden,
though, but yeah,
Tim McGraw, whoever it was,
country,
whoever it was, I thought that was bad. And then eye-opening when they give away a vacuum. So next time they're giving away something, we need to make sure to not.
We're not there.
We're not there that weekend.
We'll
go to Choctaw.
So that's what kind of spurred our daily tips so far this week was the whole just dealing with crowded casinos and planned events like that. I mean, they do that to get crowds in, and they certainly accomplished it. I mean, yeah, they gave away that vacuum, but man, did they well paid for all of those vacuums.
They did. I
mean, that they were all clearance vacuums anyway.
Oh, so yeah. Discontinued models. They bought a container of them.
Truckload,
Yeah.
So.
And what I don't get is these people were standing in line blocking machines. Now, a lot of them were playing the machines they were blocking.
Yeah.
The ones we saw in the early morning, like the first ones, they probably had like what 20 or 30 Dragon Link whatever games that they were playing, and they were going to be playing those for 5 hours.
I know. Yeah, it was the Dragon Link games, and we were sitting there looking at each other like, those are set really bad.
Those are set on purpose right there.
Yeah, they put
for
those.
People to play.
They definitely put the high volatility games right in the line there because they knew that was going to happen. But
they easily made that money back.
We're going to keep talking here, but guys, if you have any questions, get them in early because we're going to start starring them up, and then we'll start randomly taking your questions. You can ask us anything, hopefully gambling related, but this is an open forum. We're all having fun here, so let's talk about Choctaw. That was my first time, second time in Choctaw, but the first time was very briefly, and I didn't get the tour. So thank you for Tazzy and Joe giving us a tour of Choctaw. And I liked it. I really enjoyed it. Me too. I think I'll tell you what I thought, and then Dave, I want to hear your thoughts too. But the first thing I noticed when I walked in was, wow, this feels like a Las Vegas casino. Like high ceilings, well lit, chandeliers. Slot machines are not, like this. They're kind of spread out a little bit. A lot more selections too, especially with the Class 2 bingo games. A lot more denomination selections where Winstar kind of keeps, it's the first time I've ever seen the 5-reel 9-line in pennies and 2 cents. We've never seen it because the Winstar just doesn't have them. At least we've never found them. So that was nice. And the non-smoking area there is humongous, and they've got a good collection of games. And that's one of the things I have against Winstar is that although the Rome non-smoking room is nice, we're both kind of getting tired of the game selection in there. And we wish they would bring some more top dollar in there, for example, pinball, whatever. But bring some more of those bingo style machines in there too that they have on the main floor.
So the different ones.
Yeah, but we had a blast. Dave, you had an incredible red screen run on a 5-line Ruby there. Why don't you tell us about that and let us know what you thought of Choctaw also?
So I've always said the whole time that Winstar's trash and Choctaw's better from a design perspective. Choctaw started out with a better design than Winstar. They thought through what they were presenting. They thought, okay, we're going to expand on this. We know that. So let's have a better atmosphere. Even in the oldest part of the casino, you still see a better layout than you do at Winstar, which is the old steel building. Well, I haven't been to Choctaw since before the new expansion of that non-smoking area. But I always liked Choctaw better because of the way it's laid out, because of the way it's just focused on design over space, which is Winstar's focused on. And so I love the game selection. I loved as soon as we came into non-smoking. We chose to walk into smoking, but we didn't have to. There's a separate smoking-free entrance, and I like that a lot. The hotel is all non-smoking area, so it's like you're going straight to your room. You don't smell like smoke. That kind of stuff I love. The game selection, again, I agree. It was awesome playing penny 9-line game for 180 credits, and you're like, $1.80, sure, I'll bet max bet.
Right.
Just took my max bet blocker and tossed it aside.
Don't need it. Yeah.
I brought a separate budget for Choctaw. Mark did the same thing. We wanted to make sure like this is our budget for Choctaw because we've never been there. We knew we were going to bounce around, and it was almost gone.
Yeah,
until I hit this machine, and it just went nuts. And I got 007 on it, and then I got the 3 wilds on it. Yeah. So it was absolutely incredible.
You got double triple bar, then you got double 7-7, then you got double 7, and then you got the double.
It was a nuts trip. It was incredible.
It definitely turned around.
And there's a couple of things that I kind of want to play again. They have one that's a red screen, but it's not like the typical red screen we're used to where it goes red right away. Maybe they'll go red, maybe not.
All the knockoff ones that Joe showed us. Yeah.
And I did like those a lot. I like the selection a lot. Definitely want to go back. It is hard because we do have our favorites at Winstar, and we
Yeah.
have all our comps were established at Winstar.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part is, do we now split between the two, or do we roll the dice and play the comp angle of we're gonna go to
That's
Choctaw for a
tough,
few
isn't it?
trips and see if
That's
Winstar gives us more?
that's the tough part, right? I mean,
Yep,
it's
always
you
is.
get you the pull of maintaining your level of comps at a certain place is difficult. But I guess my feeling though is Winstar, we still haven't been able to figure out their comp system yet because it's all
Nope.
over the map. And so maybe Choctaw is different. I'm thinking that I mean, I don't know how much coin in I did there. Probably several thousand, I would think, in coin
I would
in.
say we both probably did just in the
Yeah,
churn.
at Choctaw.
Yeah.
I would think that'd be enough to at least get a free room, especially since I just signed up, so we
Now I
can
did get
see kind of what I'm going to get evaluation wise later.
I got a free so I'd had a car before at Choctaw. Mark was brand new. As soon as
Yep.
I got home on Sunday, checking my email, and there it is, a free midweek stay. I think it's 2 nights comped,
Okay.
Sunday through Thursday. And that's not bad for essentially just showing up there and playing.
Yeah,
That's a good comp right there.
I think so. Definitely.
We will have to
We
see about
will
the
we will
reset
definitely be
points.
back to Choctaw. I loved it there. I thought it was
It
great.
was nice.
But even then, Dave, towards the end there, we were like, let's go home.
Let's
Home
go
being
home.
Winstar. Because
Okay.
we just I don't know what it is, Dave.
The bigger cups. The bigger cups were pretty nice.
No, that's true at Choctaw, yeah.
They do drink stations there where you can serve yourself tea, sodas, or coffee. Well, at Winstar, they're like the 12-ounce regular styrofoam cups. But at Choctaw, they're like the 24-ounce styrofoam cups.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just don't have to keep going back. And because that's one thing about Winstar, I am horrible at drinking water or drinking anything.
Yeah.
Because it's such a trek to go over there and come back. Because you have to go outside of the non-smoking area, but this
Right.
is it's all inside the non-smoking area.
Right. Right.
Bathrooms are really clean. Everything was very clean. Staff was friendly. I would definitely like to go back to Choctaw, but again, it's hard when you know exactly where you're gonna go. We're gonna go. This is the Ruby that Mark likes because it's got the sound. I'm the one next to it because I don't care.
Oh man, is that so true? I will say that the sound
I'll take the ones
issues
that win.
it just kills me. I don't get it. Winstar, they just turn on the bingo machines. They still got the bells going, but they don't have the sound
Right.
of the slot machine playing.
And definitely more of the ones at Choctaw had sound.
Yeah, I did
it was
agree with
definitely
that,
more
yeah.
of them. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and they're essentially the same games. And it was kind of neat to see a few different variations of the same games we play.
Yes, that's what I liked about Choctaw because I think I mean, if you guys ever, I mean, if you've witnessed us so far, even with the lives that we've done at Winstar, we kind of just stay in the same little circle. It's searing sevens, 5-line, 9-line. It's the same
Single
thing over and
line.
over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to get out of our zone and play some other denomination combinations, and then also some of the newer ones that we haven't seen before. And so that's always fun. And but Choctaw just had a better selection in the non-smoking room, and I think we didn't even explore that entire room yet. So next time we're there, we'll venture out a little bit more and see and play some other things. But let's before we dive into some questions, I did want to. I think somebody did make a comment. Let me see.
Oh, we do have one from Thomas real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
$10
Let's go.
super chat from Thomas. Thanks for the post. I will ask the question the regular way. Anytime, Thomas. We will definitely try to get to all the questions.
You do not have to send us a super chat to get your question answered. Believe me,
definitely not.
But, we do appreciate it.
I'm not going to say it doesn't put it to the top of the list because it automatically does. But
yeah,
if we're missing it, thank you, Thomas. Very, very much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. And I didn't mention Brantley's not here with us today. I see him here in the chat. So hey, Brantley, good to see you.
Hey there,
he'll be back. He's going to be back and doing our lives with us. So I hope he's doing well. This is the comment that I want to pull up. Adam's Exploit says, those bingo games are definitely different. Glad we have regular slots video poker here in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Man, I got to say, and just hear me out for a second. If you pick the right bingo games, I think you're going to be really surprised at the results that you get over class 3 games. I mean, okay, we've had this thing, we've kind of been joking about it, about getting double 7 on every single trip that we've done to Winstar. This is the truth. I mean, it's happened. And if you don't believe us, go watch our lives, because it's happened on every live we've done. When is the last time you got double 7 on a double diamond machine? You know, and we get it every single time we go up there. Dave got it twice.
Or the 3 wilds.
Yeah, Sherman got, you got the 3 wilds twice. You got it on the dollar one too.
And it's like, that's a rare occurrence on a double diamond machine. When it happens, you're like, and it's never happened to me. I have never gotten all the doubles on a standard double diamond machine.
Right.
And it's like, I know it's supposed to be way more frequently, but it still doesn't happen to me. But at Winstar, it's a regular thing. The only difference being is I can vary my bet. And so I can hit it on just, 1 credit, 5 credits, or I can hit it on the max bet. So it's like, you can hit it and all you're getting is an increment of your bet amount.
Yeah.
So the only difference is I'm a perfect, flat pay table on a 5 credit machine for 5 lines. It's 800 for the first coin, meaning the first 5, 1600. I mean, it's like a perfect pay table.
Yeah.
And it's great.
It is. And then I think people are weary of them. I certainly was. And I know, Dave, you were the same, initially going into them, because there is a big, like, I don't know if it's like a saying or myth or whatever, but a lot of people say, oh, you gotta stay away from those because they're bingo games and they're in Indian casinos. 2 really bad things. That's kind of what the saying is on the street, so to speak. But I mean, the results just, that's all I can really say is that, I mean, are you going to win every time you go up there? No, but we've just been doing so much better on those than we did at any class 3 game that we play at Winstar. So,
and
it's just the way it is.
Fun in different ways, because the bingo game going on, Mark and I are getting better at it. Each time we go, we're getting better at it. And now we're starting to see the very strange variations that come up, and we're starting to see those patterns more and more on the bingo card. And so now it's like, cherries, single wild, mixed bars.
Mixed bars,
You can kind of see that more and more. And then you feel like, Joe and Jenny there for JJ Slot Play, they're like pros at it, and we hope to get to that level.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're so much fun. They bring you in to the game a lot.
And if you guys, especially you guys that are new to bingo style machines, I do highly recommend checking out Jenny and Joe, JJ Slot Play, because that's pretty much all they ever play. But he also explains it very well. When it goes red, he's showing the patterns and all that kind of stuff. He always has the bingo card in the shot. These are important things for you to learn how these machines work and play, and you can kind of get a feeling for it. So I strongly encourage you guys to go check them out. We watch every single post that they make, every video. Maybe not so much on the Neptune's Gold, but
which is Jenny's favorite game.
I know, Jenny, you love it. We're more of the actual physical reels. We tried Neptune's Gold and just got wrecked from it. So it didn't really feel, that was our first attempt. Maybe we need to try it again, but I don't know. It's just not, it just didn't feel right to us. So, but let's see what else we got here.
I got a good one from Michelle
Okay.
There we go. Dave, Park MGM or Nomad to stay? Comp rooms at both. $42 resort fee at Park. And you don't have the resort fee at Nomad. Most likely you do. But if you're, of course, golden up, you get that waived. I like Nomad a little bit better just because of the style of the rooms, but the Park MGM rooms are just fine as well. Don't have a problem with either one. Only reason I like the Nomad better is because of the French style, the reds, the different lighting and all that, the couches. But either which way, you can go to the lobby and get the little free chocolate macaroons anytime you want.
Yeah. supposedly.
I'd just be glad being there.
Robin R says, does Winstar offer shuttle from your car to the front door? I have seen the golf carts going around, but I've never seen anybody on them, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Be prepared, especially if it's busy. You're going to be walking. You're going to be walking regardless of Winstar. I mean,
now Sherman did the super smart thing. He didn't just go, looking for a spot. He went right to the front of the parking lot, the front row, and he found one right there.
Oh, you just got lucky. But see, that's why he was lucky all night.
Look there first.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to work all the time.
No, not all the time, but once in a while.
And Marty B says, sorry I missed your trip to Winstar. Any chance you'll be up there in April? Maybe.
I'd say there's a pretty good chance.
Yeah, we typically go about once a month, so just keep an eye on the channel. We definitely are trying to step up our game on announcements when we're going up there. So
yeah, I'd say it's a strong chance we'll be there in April.
Right.
It won't be the last weekend. It'll be a weekend before that.
That's right. Buzznet Slot says, hey guys, I recently told not to film at Harrah's AC and told there could be a 3-year ban. Your thoughts? This is why you really got to ask permission first ahead of time. Yeah. Understand the policy. Don't be caught off guard. The first time they tell you, though, you just play dumb. That's what I always do. It's like, I just assumed I could play, film. I see people in here filming all the time. I didn't know. And then they'll probably tell you, you need to get permission, or you're just not allowed to do it, or whatever. Now, if you do it again after that, that's your fault for getting on the ban list. But every casino is different, and it's becoming better. I think overall it's becoming easier and easier to film in the casinos, but they're also putting in a lot of rules and regulations. MGM is big on that now. You've got to go through a process, fill out a form, get approval. You got to do this once a quarter. I think they said it was something like that.
Right. Once a quarter,
just to keep you on the list. So. Just understand what the rules are, because every casino is going to be different. Some will just light you up the moment they see your camera, and some just don't care. Winstar has never approached us. I think
we've had that one guy.
But he found out what we were doing. He thought we were slot technicians and filming what we were doing to the machines.
What is it about these shirts?
I don't know, man. Everybody
thinks don't look like a slot technician shirt. I mean, what kind of professional wears a shirt like this? But people don't read it. They don't see it. They just see, black collared shirt with something on it. He must be official.
It's funny because I didn't tell you this, but we were at Choctaw and a lady came up to me. She's like, where are the drink stations at? I was like, I don't think I work here. I'm sitting here playing a slot machine. Why would I be working here? But I was like, it's on the wall somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, just learn the policy and, try to ask advance, do the right thing, and they should leave you alone. But it sucks when some of the casinos are just not going to open up for it for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to take this one. This one's really good. Moody says, what's up with these guys that stalk the machines? They work in groups. They text each other. They get on every must hit buy that is close. Can't stand those guys and gals. Yes, I've seen these guys all over Winstar multiple times. They've got an AirPod in their ear. They've got their phone out. They're walking by every machine and checking the progressives, and they've got a little notepad thing open. These are there's an advantage player, and I'm using this in quotes, advantage player group that you can belong to, in quotes again, that they will basically, for a certain amount of money, you got to buy into this group. And then they will tell you when to go play certain machines when they're close to being an advantage. Now, this is why I really do not play any of the Ainsworth games at Winstar anymore, is because if you walk through there, they are all low. All the majors are really low, just reset or very close to it. I think the highest I've ever seen one is around like 95, 60 out of 10,000. I've never seen any above that. It's because these stalkers are around me. And I actually asked a slot attendant once about these guys, and they said, I got in a conversation about it. And she's like, we can't stand them, but we can't do anything about it.
What can you do?
He said they're very rude to us, and so she said what puts a smile on my face is when the major goes all the way up to the very end before it hits. She says, I know they've lost, and that makes me happy.
But how bad do you have to be to someone who works there for them to think that about you?
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
they're doing
she
their
would tell
job.
me, I'm like, are they really that bad? And she's like, listen, she's like, let me tell you a story. She said, if somebody is playing a game, one of the must hit by progressives, then they want to be on it. They will try every tactic in the book to get you off of it, including sitting down in the machine next to you and lighting up a cigar and blowing it right in your face to try to get you irritated enough to leave. And she says they can't do anything about it. I mean, it is what it is. And so that's why if you're going to play the must hit buys, I mean, you should do this anyway, but if you're going to play the must hit buys at Winstar, play it for the base game. Don't try to, there's just no way you're going to get one of those majors unless it goes off when it's low, which can happen. I mean, it's random, but they are all over the place and they're not going to stop. And there's nothing the casinos can do about them. But I've seen the same guys over and over and over again at Winstar. They're so easy to point out.
That guy's the one I can point
out.
The
wife beater. He's got one AirPod in his ear.
Yep.
And
glasses.
Yep. There's a bunch of them. I know 3 or 4 of them. So
now the next time I see one of the must hit buys up to a good amount and no one's playing it, and I don't mean like a winnable amount. I mean like the point where they start stocking it. I'm just gonna sit there
and don't play it.
I'll just put money in and just sit there. I'll start reading my phone.
Oh man.
I'll just start reading my phone. Like I can sit here a long time. I can sit here a very long time.
Yep. Right.
I'll put my card in there, put money in there. Now you can't touch it.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at.
But I'm petty like comments. That though.
Yeah. Dave, you want to take some questions while I look through here and start some more?
Yeah, let me go back up here. Where to go? From Susan. Do you have a bigger cup? This is one of the bigger cups I have. Guardians of the Galaxy Collector Cup.
You paid extra for that in the movie theater, didn't you?
And I got free refills. Did I use the free refills? No, I did not.
Yeah. Because you have a Coke habit.
I have a little bit of a Coke habit. Yes, I
do. Missed some.
Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Here we go.
Let's see.
Also, Michelle, Choctaw has big Texas Hold'em tournaments, I think, like world-class tourneys. Both Choctaw and Winstar do. They're both on different poker circuits, so they do go on often, although Choctaw has a brand new poker room that is extremely nice, where Winstar's is just a big room. It's just a big room, where Choctaw's is like actually a nice room. But again, the design element difference between the two. Let me go to gotta go to a different page. I'm going to see this differently. There we go. Here's one from Tom. People always talk about back-to-back wins. So my question is, have either of you ever hit 3 substantial jackpots in a row on the same machine? 3 in a row? No. I've hit 2 within very close proximity, but not 3 in a row. They've all been at Winstar as well. Just the way the red screen just goes. No, like not substantial wins though. That's super hard to do. I know Brantley's gotten back-to-back hand pays on pinball, but no, not me. Not me personally.
I can't think of a time where I did either. I mean, big wins, yeah, hard. But not necessarily hand pays,
right?
Jackpots. But I think my record was, what did I hit? Double top dollar 3 times in a row at Winstar.
Yeah, it was like getting annoying.
Yeah, like 3 times in a row, which has never happened to me before. He was getting Dave was very irritated with that. Let me just tell you.
And Valerie, hey guys, going to Durant this weekend. Any suggestions on low volatility games there? Any of the bingo real slots, not the video ones. Yeah. But had great times on the 5 lines, the 9 lines. There were some really great 3 real 9 lines we played. There was the ones that were the crazy, like it would just randomly red screen. Joe's daughter loves them, and I'm like, these are not for me, because it just randomly goes and you don't know it's gonna go. I was not a fan of that one, but great times on all the others. Again, just look at the pay table, look and see what it is. If you're seeing a few wilds, jump off the game. If you see one wild per reel, it's a good game. So essentially the Ruby, the, Lucky Duck, Mr. Moneybags, all those, that'd be just one per reel. Then you get into other games like Emerald City that I still do like, but it has multiple wilds per reel. So you have to kind of watch out for that.
Yeah. Yeah, look for if really our sweet spot, look for like the quarter or 50 cent, depending on what your bankroll is, 5 line, 3 reels. So there's 3 reels in there and there's 5 pay lines. And it's Hot Ruby is one and Mr. Moneybags is the other. I think those are the only 2 that are in the 5 line on VGT.
Right. Well, the only 2 I saw, I didn't notice any others at Choctaw.
I didn't either. And I haven't seen any at Winstar either. I think it's either one of those 2 for the 5 line, because it's Mr. Moneybags 2 and 3, and it's Hot Red Ruby 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah. So look for those.
What happened to 1?
1 is the single pay line.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
From Dan. So these 2 properties in Oklahoma, yes, they're both in southern Oklahoma. One's in Durant over on the eastern side of Oklahoma, and the other's in Thackerville on the western side of Oklahoma, or central, depending on the way you look at it.
And question for Mark CSX: have you ever hit the 1,000 credits on Top Dollar on your own machine or a casino machine? Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. I think I hit it on a casino machine once. It was a quarter, and I hit it for $250. At home, I've hit a lot though, especially on the 5 line Top Dollar. That one I've hit it probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 times at home. That's the one that you have the best chances of hitting the 1,000 credits. But it's hard to find that game now. I wonder why they're getting rid of them. Double Top Dollar, it's difficult to get the 1,000. It's really difficult to get the 1,000 times 2, and even it's crazier to get
or more difficult.
4. Yeah, but it's really tough. If you can find regular Top Dollar in a single pay line, that has better odds of hitting 1,000 than double Top Dollar does. But yeah, it's hard to hit. But it does happen. It does happen.
I got a good one here. Where's this?
Okay.
Playing with rent money. First of all, I see you're new here. We don't play with rent money.
No, we don't
play with only the money you're willing to set on fire. That has
smart.
You paid your bills. You've done all that stuff with it. It has no bearing. You can literally set it on fire. It means the same to you as gambling with. So remember that. So I'm new here. What are your go-to games to play? So my go-to game is pretty much always going to be Top Dollar, double Top Dollar. I'm really liking that Frankenstein game lately. It is just out of the sounds.
Yeah, that's what I would love to have at home.
Oh man, that'd be so much fun.
Yes, it would.
Come on, it's alive. But then also all the old school games, Triple Stars, Double Diamond, Triple Diamond. God, so many of the IGT games, triple, double diamond with cheese. One of my favorite games that is just so annoying to play. It's just horrible to play.
Yeah,
but it's fun to play.
Yeah.
But really for me, and then anything at Winstar would be any of the probably 5 line and 9 line games would be my most favorite there.
Yeah. I got to say, I'm exactly the same as Dave. Same machine. I mean, seriously, same machines.
And Dragon Link.
No, no dragons.
Threw that one in there.
I know. You're just trying to get a rise out of me. And let's see. It's a good one from Kevin. What percentage of Winstar's floor smoking? Oh man, it's probably 90% smoking.
Yeah,
maybe
by
80%
square footage.
Oh man, now I think about it, probably 90%.
Probably 90% smoking. 10%.
Because the other Rio non-smoking is very small.
Yeah, but they say that's non-smoking, but it's smoking.
Yeah,
it's just
This is just it's a terrible room, though. I mean, it's dark.
Right.
It's depressing.
Oh,
you stand up from a machine, you feel like you're going to hit your head.
Yep.
Like it's.
I got a poll for everybody. Comment: is vaping smoking? Because we're in the non-smoking room,
man.
and someone's vaping, not like a little vaping, like vaping. Is that? I consider it to be smoking. I consider vaping and smoking the same thing.
I think they typically say the same.
If it says non-smoking on airline and they say include vaping, then that means non-smoking. Here's one from Marty B here. I'm going to Winstar the middle of next month to celebrate my birthday, and I'm hoping to find those 9-line nickel machines in non-smoking that you played. They are actually easy to find. They're right when you come in. You're going to see some of those. Just make sure to pay attention that it is a nickel machine. You're going to find those essentially near the bathrooms, one row over, right in the middle, and 2 rows over near the what's that place called? The Hudson Bar.
Yeah,
in line with that. But there's quite a few of them. You're not going to have a problem finding them. They are
but like Dave said, and we've made this mistake, just because the machine on the left is 5 cents, don't assume the rest on the row are 5 cents. They will mix in all kinds of denominations in there, so just look for the denomination. And they're not multi-denom. You can't change it.
Will they let you film at Choctaw? Yeah, we didn't have any problems at all. It's been great. Okay, let me go back over here. You take another question. I'm going to go back and tag some more questions here.
Sounds great. And the Slothead said, we will be getting married at Westgate in Vegas this September. Well, congratulations. I was wondering if you guys have filmed your play there. I will be sure to ask first anyway. I've never been to Westgate. You, Dave?
Yeah, Westgate's nice. So Westgate used to be LVH, which used to be the Hilton, and then was Las Vegas Hilton, I think, before it became LVH. Nice place. It needs a makeover, but there's really nothing wrong with it. It's a great property to go to. I kind of like going there to play in their poker room. Their table games are, fairly. You can find a $5 poker, $5 blackjack or $5 other game most of the time. I've never had a problem filming there, but I have not filmed there much. So it's easy to ask. Ask someone in a suit if you can.
Right.
Someone don't ask the security guard because they're just going to say no off the bat. That's how they're programmed.
Yeah.
But if you have time, email ahead of time, and I'm sure you're going to get a good answer back because you took the time.
If anything, you'll get permission, and you can carry that email along with you. So if you're bothered, you can say, "Hey, so and so from marketing said I could do it."
Steve from marketing said it was okay.
Let's see. And Burgett says, "Hi, Mark. Is it better to play your free play and take all your winnings home, or play your own money to get free play? Thanks." Always use your free play. I mean, a lot of places it expires the moment you leave, like on your trip. Sometimes you can bank it. MGM properties let you bank it, but not all casinos do that. A lot of them are you use it or lose it. And some, like Winstar, are only valid certain days. If you don't use it within that time, it's gone. So always start with your free play is how I deal with it. I always approach it as free play as part of my budget. So if I want to bring $400 and I got $100 in free play, I'm only going to bring $300 in cash because I consider that free play part of my cash. But I always play that first because I want to get the comps out of the way, make sure I don't lose it, that kind of thing. Use it. You don't want to get stuck without it. But never play your own money to try to get more free play. That's the slippery slope. Like, comps are just the icing on the cake. You should never, in my opinion, strong opinion, never play just to get comps, because the amount of comps you're getting in comparison to your coin in is very, very small. And if you play just for comps or tier status or whatever, you're aiming for the wrong goals. That should not be your goal. I'm not leaving this damn casino until I get diamond plus. That could be very dangerous. That's not really good thinking. The comps should just be an afterthought. It's good if you get them. If you don't, who cares? You were going to lose that money anyway because you set it aside to gamble with. So that's my advice. Hope that helps you there, Bridget. And let's see. Yes, Captain Newport, do you know anything about the lawsuit against Light and Wonder by Aristocrat?
We're just talking about that.
We were talking about that this morning because the news came out. And yeah, this is a pretty big thing. It could potentially become a very big deal. Essentially, what it was is that Light and Wonder has been accused by Aristocrat of copying their games. And they did mention a couple of games that were very similar in nature, and they're going to try to, claim trademark and all that. Lawsuits like this, I mean, they'll start, and this is going to take years and years and years and years. I mean, I remember that, if you guys remember the lawsuit a while back where Apple sued Samsung because they made a home screen that looked similar to Apple.
Similar.
That took 12 years in the courts before anything was solved. And so just because they've initiated this now, it could take a while before anything actionable could happen. But I mean, it's surprising to me. This is something that how much can you trademark in a slot machine? I mean, you can trademark the graphics, the sound, the look and feel, but can you trademark how bonus symbols land? Can you trademark how bonus rounds play? I don't know if you can or not, because everybody has spin and hold features. That's not trademarked. It's going to be interesting. It just came out. We're definitely going to be following it to see what comes of it. But yeah, definitely saw it. It's could be potentially big,
especially
machines being cold. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Who knows?
If it affects some of Light and Wonder's top games, like what about Huff and Puff, which is essentially a lock and hold feature?
Yeah.
So is that on the table? I don't know if there's specific titles, because the whole thing the story didn't have every single title that was under dispute, but there are quite a few that could be in dispute there, which are big games for Light and Wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we will see. Hey, thank you for becoming a member, Jenny and Joe. Really do appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Jenny and Joe.
You're going to love our craziness that we post to members. We got some really funny videos in there.
And the
membership is always welcome, not required by any means. We don't want anybody to pay for this stuff. But you get some extra bonuses on top of that, including our blooper reels and things like that. So we need to, actually, I've got a couple more I need to post. It's been a little while, so I'll get some out to you guys. We're always making dumb mistakes. Let's see. And Thomas Atkinson says, on Easy Wilds, since it is a bingo, does it matter if you bet one or max? I understand if you bet one, it will show many hits on the other lines just to entice you. I want to try just one versus the higher bets. Not really. I mean, I don't know the definitive answer to this, to be honest. There's a lot of complexity to Class 2 that we're just still trying to learn. But in general, your bet size doesn't make any difference on the outcome of the game. It's just a multiplier of what your winnings could be, because bingo is based on prize distribution. They have to divvy out a certain number of prizes over a certain amount of time to stay within the payback percentage that they've set for a bingo game. And all these cards are already predetermined. And basically, when you're spinning on a bingo machine, it's randomly distributing these cards out to people that are spinning. And each one of these cards is either going to contain a prize or it's not going to contain a prize. And if it contains a prize, it's going to be a certain amount. Kind of sounds like a slot machine, doesn't it? It's the same basic principle. It's just the way that it's doing it is a little bit different. But the one thing to be very careful with, and we see a lot of people doing this, is they feel like there is some sweet spot on each machine. Like if it's not paying on 3 credits, then go down to 1 credit because it might start paying. And that's going to cause you to think that there's something to that, but there's not, if that makes sense. It's not going to play differently because you're playing less credits. And it certainly will. Easy Wilds is a good one because that's a 9-line game. And it'll start showing you 2 times, 2 times, 2 times on line 9. You're going to say, I should have bet 9. I would have gotten that. No, not on that one. It's going to tease you a lot. But just always remember, and I think this is the most important thing, no matter what anybody tells you, there's usually somebody, a neighbor that's watching you play, say, oh, you should play max. You got to play max. You play what you are comfortable with betting.
Right.
Leave it at that. Okay. The only time that you need to make an exception, and we've talked about this a lot on this channel, is that you need to make sure that all of the features of that game are covered. So if that game has bonus rounds or progressives or anything like that, then you need to bet enough to make sure that you are eligible for those extra features and progressives, because that is where the return to player is built into that game. A good example of this is top dollar or pinball. If you play less than max bet on those games and you get the bonus, let's say on top dollar, you do not get the bonus unless you bet max bet. So you're basically paying
9 credits.
Yeah, you're basically playing a really bad version of Double Diamond, without getting that bonus. And so you really need to bet max on that to get the most potential back to you. So you really, and this is part of education, is when you sit down at a machine that you've never played before, you really need to look at the game rules and understand what it is that you need to bet so that all the bonus and features of that game are covered. If you don't do that, you are doing yourself a disservice because you're reducing your return to player potential. Can you still win? Yes. But we're saying that the payback percentage on that machine is assuming that all of those things are being covered on every bet. And so by you taking those things out, you're hurting yourself. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. But on that specific one, or in any bingo game like that, it's really just as simple as whatever credit you win, if you get divvied out a prize, it's going to be a multiplier or whatever credit bet that you have. So hopefully that helps a little bit. There's a lot more to it. We're trying to get more information to kind of really understand how it's going, how it's working there.
And Tommy Nagy, you guys have helped me a lot. Thank you so much for all you do. My favorite channel by far. Thank you for being a member for 1 month. Appreciate that. And also from people who jumped in here, we got Dr. Jen the Vet, we got Mean Mommy, Firefly. Thank you guys all for coming in. Marty B. So many people. I love everybody just coming in. And what's great? Oh, so on the poll, yes, apparently everyone says vaping is smoking. Yeah. But going through reading this, you guys are having like your own conversations, which is awesome. It's like you're just talking amongst yourselves, and we're just here doing our own thing.
Yeah. Yep.
And from Jeff Gardner, on VGTs, do you still set a loss limit, or you simply put in the money you're willing to spend all the way down? Curious at how you bankroll VGTs to play them. I do them the exact same way as I would a regular slot machine.
Yeah.
My budget is a daily budget, and I kind of just go machine by what I'm feeling. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, I'll try another $50. I'll try another $20. But really it just goes to what I'm feeling on that machine, but what is my daily budget? So if my daily budget's gone, I'm done. But yeah, I don't do it any differently. It's gambling. It's setting a budget and going from there.
Yeah, you should do it for everything. I mean, not just that. If you're playing table games, you should do the same. You're playing lottery, you should do the same. Any kind of gambling, you got to set limits. One of the things that I do too is, and you see this on our live streams especially, is that I'll set limits, but I will adjust it along the way if I'm doing well. So if I'm doing well, I will raise that lower limit and just keep doing that. But you should always be evaluating, especially the bar. Like, I'm putting $100 in, I'm not going below 50. Whatever the case, whatever happens, I'm not going below 50.
Right.
And stick to that. Because it's hard, man. You get caught up in the moment and you get into that chase. Let's say that you spun it all the way down to 50, you didn't get one single line hit. What are you most likely to do? Cash out and say forget it, or keep chasing it until you get a win? The latter is what most people are going to end up doing, because it's just human nature to keep chasing that win. Because you feel like it's due, like you're owed that win. Yeah,
it's coming
because you didn't get it. So you got to be strong. You got to set your limits and be willing to walk away. And yeah, you're going to play another machine, but you're breaking up the monotony and the chase, and that reset of you cashing out and walking to another machine is enough to get you to kind of calm down a little bit and reset when you go down to that next machine. And that's, if I was going to give anybody a single lesson when gambling, that's probably it, is be aware of the money that you have in the machine. Try not to put your entire bank. Dave and I see this stuff all the time on YouTube where people put $3,000 into a machine at once. It's like, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
That's your whole budget.
That's your whole budget. Don't do that. You need to break it up a little bit, because otherwise you're just it's easier to go into the chase when you're in that, because you're just going to keep playing and playing and playing. Yep.
Then when you're down, Now you're chasing to get back up.
That's right.
Oh, and another member for a month, Richard. Memberversary train.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
He's been a member for a month. Thank you, Richard.
Love that.
Appreciate it.
Great.
We also have a private Discord chat server for members too. We have a lot of fun in there. We talk about all kinds of nonsense. Oh, here it comes. Proud Monkey 2. All right.
And from Brian, 250 viewers on the live right now. Yep. And we have over 6,200 subs. You guys are rocking it. We kind of feel like, I don't know, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And Mark and I are horrible about this. We will refresh looking at the new subs, and when we lose one, we're like, what do we do?
What do we do?
How can we go to this person and apologize?
Yeah.
But we're having a great time.
Something bad that they didn't like.
We are gonna have a contest, and by the way, Mark's just finding about this now, of when we hit 10,000. We are, and we're gonna give away a hat, an actual Gamble Smart hat, which I'm having them made right now because we had an order for one, so they're gonna go out. So
you're just gonna give away a hat for 10,000? That's weak.
Well, we'll throw some. That's the starting thing. I'm sure we'll put.
No, you're like, oh yeah. When we get to 10,000, Mark doesn't know about this yet. We're gonna give away a hat.
Okay, and
I don't know yet.
And a shirt.
We got to juice it up a little bit. We'll figure something out. We'll do something really cool. We will do something really cool. It won't be a hat and a shirt though. Maybe a limited edition hat.
This $10 gift card that has $3 left on it.
Bottom of the barrel here. Oh my gosh.
A whole $3 left.
All right, let's get back to some questions.
God,
everybody's doing their membership stuff.
Yeah, Proud Monkey a month, Robin a month. Look at this. Joe and Tazzy a month. Man, you guys, great. It's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, guys. Oh, this from Alan Sexter here. Heard a woman who dropped $1,700 in a Tabasco dollar machine, didn't hit much of anything, and complained about it. Yeah. That's chasing hard. I mean, in a dollar machine, I could see dropping 1,700. If you're on a $5, you just got a little carried away. You were chasing, but on a dollar would take you a long time.
Yeah.
$3 a spin? Jeez. You figured you'd give up at some point.
Yeah, and that's the point. Like, everybody will assume, and I'm sure this lady thinks because she complained, that the casino did that. They set that machine to do that, and they didn't. That's just the natural cycle of the machine. It's going to happen. That's all part of randomness, and it's something, again, that us as humans cannot really comprehend and understand. That is a random event. Can you get on a slot machine and not get paid anything for a little while, even double diamond? Yes, it can happen. It's not in a purposely on the take cycle. It's just part of randomness. And God, I'm going to use it again, but I'm going to use the flipping of the coin because it's like the best way to explain this. It really is.
He's going to come up with a new one eventually.
Yeah, but you know what? It's simple and people understand it.
That's true.
I'm going to use it again. And I know you guys have heard it a lot, but so imagine you flip. Okay, Dave, what are the odds if I flip a coin that it's going to be heads?
50-50.
50-50. Okay.
There's only two possible outcomes.
I'm going to flip it 20 times. Do you think that it will be exactly 50-50 if I flip it 20 times? Could it?
Not 20 times.
Yes, but probably not, right?
Probably not. No.
You might get 12 heads and 8 tails, for example. But it's still 50-50. The odds of flipping it is still 50-50, but in that short term, it doesn't come out to that. But the more you do it, the law of the large numbers, the more times that you flip it, it's going to get closer and closer and closer to that 50%. You do it 10 million times, it might be 49.999999 repeating, may not truly get to 50, but the more you do it, the closer and closer it's going to get. It's called standard distribution. And so slot machines are the same way. They're built the same way. But just imagine that. Is it possible that you could flip a coin 20 times and get heads every single time? Yes, it's possible. Imagine heads are a losing spin on a slot machine. It's still 50-50 on the flip, but it didn't happen that way. And so it's just a hard thing for people to grasp. And so when they ever have a losing session on a slot machine, the first reaction is always the casino did something or the slot machine did something. Somebody changed something in the back room that caused this thing to go on the take, or somebody must have hit a bunch of jackpots on this machine earlier today. And so now it's got to rebalance itself by taking all this money. And no, that's not how they work. Nobody knows what the next spin is going to be on a slot machine. Nobody knows. They have to be that way. They have to be random. And the RNG is there the random number generator is there to prevent future outcomes from being detectable. Like otherwise it would never be put on a casino floor. So try to think about that, like what I just said. The RNG is built so that nobody, you, the player, the casino, the maker of the game, nobody knows what the next spin is going to be on a slot machine. There's probability of it could be something, but nobody knows what it's going to actually be until that button is hit. And then it determines what the outcome is going to be. So you can have really bad. I mean, even here at the house and playing double top dollar, I've gone 200 or 300 spins without getting it. And the average is 1 in 41, I think it is. What the hell? I spun at 300. Shouldn't I have gotten it 4 times? Well, yeah, but that's the average.
That's the average.
10 million pulls or so. It'll eventually get to that over 10 million pulls. But sometimes you get it back to back. Sometimes you get it 3 times in a row, like I did, Dave.
That's right.
Sometimes
you don't get any, like I did.
So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox there. But
okay, one from Marty B here. I wanted to order one of your max button protectors. So Marty did a great test of this last weekend. It worked perfectly. But of course, Joe of Tazzy and Joe's Adventures brought up a good question of the new style of EGTs have a different button on them. So I think what I'm going to do is take measurements of the new button and it'll fit all the buttons at that point. And I think that's a better product, but it's close. It's super close. It worked great, lightweight. It worked really well. It'll have our logo on the top of it. I've lost at least 2 of them, so at least somebody around Winstar has one of them now.
Yeah, let's talk about. Yeah, wait a minute. Coming. I need to talk. I need a soapbox moment here.
Another one? Well, hold on. Let me get this one real quick from Larry. Can you throw in some Buc-ee snacks in that giveaway? Absolutely, yes. Larry.
I will go shopping at Buc-ee's and get whatever you want.
Yep. We'll throw it in there.
We'll do a $50 snack. You can tell us exactly what you want. So my soapbox item is you, Dave.
What about?
You have been on my case for months about my last trip to Winstar and leaving my ticket behind and all kinds of BS. What have you
And you did this time too.
I turned around to get it.
No.
You kept forgetting your boxes, but you actually left them. You did not go back and retrieve them.
But that's
so you're just as bad.
A sample thing. Actually, I did go back and retrieve it at Choctaw. I had to search 3 machines I was on to find it. And it was still there. But no, it's coming soon, Marty. I am working on it. I think I just want to get that one last revision done of the size that'll fit everything so that it's not only good for the VGTs that are common at Winstar, but also the new ones that are more common at Choctaw now. So that way it's used everywhere. The other thing I'm going to do is put a little keychain loop on it. So you can put those little scrunchy, stretchy things. So you can just never forget it again. You just constantly take it with you from then on. Start walking away. It'll come with you eventually.
I think that speaks for itself.
It does. I did that one time. You've done it many times.
I'm just saying, you cannot get on to me about it.
Winstar wallet. So,
yeah.
This is my second time with the Winstar wallet. I am starting to see value in it. Now, Mark and I have talked about this extensively, the pros and cons. I believe at this point, the pros outweigh the cons, but the con for me, the big one, is that you can load up your card from anything, credit card, debit card, bank account. There's no limits set on it. It costs you $8 and something cents each time. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that someone could just load up their whole credit card on a, and go gamble with that. I don't like that part. I think there needs to be limits in place. We talked about saying, hey, I want a $500 a month limit or whatever you want to set. I do like a lot of the features. You can get all your money back out of the ATM with no charge. You can just take your card out and it goes straight to your account. I like that part a lot. You don't have to remember this stuff. The hard part is you got to put the thing in and you got to put your code in each time and you got to put money back into it. But the good part of that is you are constantly looking at how much money you have.
Right.
So you are very aware as that money is going down or up. So I do like that a lot versus having it in your pocket and just reach it in, grab another 100, put it in, not counting. It's right in your face. And I do like that a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This may be, where cashless is getting better, but I don't know because of the whole, there's no limits on what you can do wrong either.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big con right now for me.
Yeah, I think they should, you should be able to go to the cage and say, limit me to, like you said, $500 a day.
Yeah.
And whenever you do it, they say you can't make any changes for 30 days.
And I think that's responsible.
It has to be like that's because if you could change it anytime you want, then it's pointless. Right. You're just going to, I said $500 a day. I meant 600.
I went 600. I went 800.
Yeah. So they need to lock it in where you can't do it. If they do that, then I think it's a very responsible way to handle money in a casino. But casinos may not be for that because they want you to overextend yourself and all that kind of stuff. That's why they're making you or allowing you a way to load your credit cards up with money and that kind of stuff. So
eventually casinos will catch on to what we're trying to push of smarter, more prepared gamblers are better for their bottom line in the long run.
It's true.
And they're all about the long run. You come to Vegas, you lose your $500 budget, you are completely carefree about it. You come to Vegas, you lose your next $500 budget. Again, carefree, no tears, no, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills and all that because you've already paid all your bills. Now you're actually enjoying your play and you are a happier customer for it. I think eventually that'll catch on to the casinos of this is a great way to go. And protecting players protects the casino. You don't have to worry about people losing all their money and then going to the press and saying this casino never stopped me from gambling. Because everyone was smart enough to do that.
They're covering themselves. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, a couple more. Super sticker from Sherman. Thank you, Sherman.
Hey, thank you, Sherman. Hey, didn't you win over like $5,000? You can just send us $5. Just kidding, my friend. Just kidding.
Now you wouldn't say that to Sherman's face, would you? No.
No. He could stomp on me like a little bug.
And Kevin B for the 1 month and Firefly for the 1 month. Thank you, guys.
And we had some other ones. Alan's in here. Susan. We want to say hi to Susan. Thanks for moderating, keeping the fort down for us.
I have your bag. I have your bag too, Robin.
I was going to make up an excuse for you.
It's on the way.
It's tough. Let's see. Amy L says someone get escorted out of the casino this weekend for collecting cash out tickets left behind players for small penny amounts. Yeah, this is a big thing. It's a really big thing. We've seen these people go around. This is kind of like what I was talking about in the tip on, what was it, Monday? You got to be aware of your surroundings in the casino, guys, all the time. I don't want you to be paranoid, but you need to be aware of who's around you, who's watching you. And if you feel like I always feel like I know when somebody's watching me because I
can feel it on the back of my. Yeah, I can feel it.
I feel it, and I turn around, and there's Tazzy and Joe staring me down. They're good guys, so I'm not worried about them. But I'm just saying, like, especially if you see somebody looking at you, they're sitting in a chair behind just watching you play, and then you get a good bonus hit or whatever, and then they approach you. They may say, "Hey, congratulations on the win." Just be on your guard. for what's coming next, because they'll probably ask you for money or whatever. But if you see anything like that, or you see somebody that's just sitting down and not doing anything, not playing or whatever, please go tell a security person to at least keep an eye on them. You don't need to cause a scene or anything like that. Just, it protects everybody. It protects yourself. It protects your fellow gambler. We got to report people like that, because it's just not, I mean, I feel for those people. I mean, what a great place to go and try to get money is in a casino by picking up, tickets left behind and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people, especially when they're on a winning cycle, are more likely to start handing money out to people, and they know that, and it's a good place to go, but it can turn into a bad situation. And so we just want to be very cognizant of it and be aware and do the best thing you can, which is to just alert security to keep an eye on somebody. So,
and the other thing that we don't think about is just move, just get up and move somewhere else. And if they follow you, now you got really something to say, like, hey, get over here. Security, somebody, a slot tech, something like that.
Yeah.
Because that just annoys me. Man, some good questions. Here we go. I'm going to go back and take this. Oh, another thing is, if you do find yourself at Choctaw Winstar and you're looking for someone to turn your luck around, Tazzy and Joe's daughter is an expert card reader, and she is good luck. She is now my good luck charm.
She is.
I swear, every time I'm like, that's not a good card, she's like, actually, that's a pretty good card. I think you're going to be okay.
Oh, man. Isn't that the truth?
And it's like, what do you see in that? And she's just like, oh, this, that. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm squinting, trying to find it.
And Jeff Gardner says, if you find you're having a run of bad luck, do you do anything to shake things up or change things up? Absolutely. We do this all the time, and you probably see it in our lives too. If we just are just no longer feeling the machine. Now, when we say feeling, it's not that we know anything. It's just that whenever you get a lot of dead spins, or you get a couple of red screens or bonus rounds and they're not that good, you kind of don't want to get into the chase. And if I ever feel like I'm starting to cross that line where I'm going to start chasing, that's when I decide to cash out. And Dave and I are great about this, because if I'm done, I'm done. I will cash out. He'll probably do a couple more spins, and then he'll go with me, and then we'll go find another machine. And I've done the same with Dave. If he's leaving, I'm going to cash out wherever I'm at. And it's good to break it up. Like, if one of you's just not having a good time and you feel like the game's just not paying for whatever reason, I mean, there's nothing that you can do to manipulate the machine into changing that. Even if you take a break and come back an hour later and play that same machine, you could be in the same situation you were an hour before, but you at least took an hour break to think about where you are budget-wise and all that kind of stuff, and reset. Maybe go down in denomination instead of playing the same one you were before. Those types of things. But that's really up to you. And these are the things that you guys have got to plant in your mind whenever you're going to the casino and playing slot machines like this, is that you need to be prepared to walk away and cash out at any time. You're not having a good time, you're not winning anything, you need to be prepared to stop yourself from chasing. It's so hard, believe me. I've
Sometimes
been there.
it is.
And I've even done it recently. I've done it where I've just chased on a game a little bit too much. You gotta try to be firm with yourself and say, look, I said I wasn't going to go below 50. I really want to just do a couple more spins, but I said I wasn't going to go below 50. I'm going to cash out, and I'm going to go take a break, go play something else, go get, a soda from the, the drink thing or whatever the case is. Just break it up a little bit. So yeah, we absolutely do this. Absolutely. I think everybody should.
Absolutely. Everyone should. And from Vero Veronica, can you recommend best slots to play for a low break bankroll going this weekend? Where are you going? You going to Vegas? You going to Oklahoma? Let me know in the chat where you're going, and I'll grab your question real quick. But it all depends on where you're going, of where we can recommend, because
that's true.
If I don't know where you're going, I can't really do a good job recommending. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
And there's another good question here. Oh, come try the bingo from Jonathan Cryer. Come try the bingo slots in Washington State, especially at Ilani, and you will see why we don't like the bingo style slots here. I'd love to see you guys come up here and analyze this place. I thought Washington was all lottery or horse racing.
No.
I guess
It's not.
Okay, they're also
No. It's
okay.
Class
Gotcha.
2 and VGT. They have both.
Gotcha. Okay, check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've got
maybe one
video
of these
lottery, not VGT, VLT is what I meant.
VLT,
Video
yeah.
lottery terminal. Yeah. I keep wanting to go up to Washington State to gamble because God, there's so many of you. And we look at our YouTube analytics, and it was like this Cowboy Slots too with Brantley. So many people from Washington State that gamble. So
like
we got to get up there at some point. It's so far away from Texas, though. Man, that's like an all-day event trying to get up there.
It is an all-day event to get up there. And, almost what we need to do is get in a car and start driving south, go through Oregon, California.
Right, just hit everything up.
Hook over to Vegas on the way. That's only like a 4-day trip right there.
Yeah, geez. Talk about exhausted.
No kidding. To be just totally tired. Okay.
And Burgess says, when I go with the bus, I receive $25 in free play. I only play that, but never any free play off of that. Yeah, you're never going to earn free play off of free play. That's never going to work. You have to spend your own money to get more comps. So
yeah, you don't earn any comps off free play.
You get nothing. You use your free play. You're not getting tier credits, status, nothing. You're not getting anything off of that.
Yep.
So
and Vera Veronica going to Reno, Nevada. All right.
Oh, GSR, yeah.
GSR Reno. So I would look for a lot.
I know exactly what they have there.
Oh, look at that, Marks. There you go.
We were there last year. They have a bank of machines. Hopefully they haven't moved them, but it's towards the front entrance. There's a bank of about 5 machines there. I think they're $1, but they have double diamond. I think triple diamond. I think triple stars was there. Those are pretty good to play. They didn't have a whole lot of quarter selections, if I remember right. It was pretty kind of $1 and up for the machines that we play anyway, like the classic reels. They have a lot of penny machines in there, a lot of penny machines. So it's not my favorite selection there, to be honest, but I would look for that bank. I think that's pretty good. There's a 5 times pay in there. Stay away from that one. Don't do the 5 times pay. If there's a 10 times pay, stay away from that one too. Look for the double diamond, triple stars, those kinds of things. I think they're right there. So, and good luck. It's a nice casino. I wasn't a huge fan of the machine selection that they had in there.
And one from Nancy B. Are VLT machines class 3? No, they are not. Video lotto terminals are not class 3. They're technically class 2, right? I mean, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't think it's really class. Maybe it is class 2. Brantley, if you're still in here, I can use some help on that one. I can't remember.
Because I always try to remember it as if the outcome is independent, it's class 3. It's an RNG.
Right.
But if the outcome is dependent, like on a bingo game, on horse racing, on VLT.
Yeah, but I know HHR isn't class 2. So
gotcha.
HHR is HHR and VLT may just be VLT. I don't know.
Although it's a
good question.
Yeah, similarity.
I don't know if Brantley's still in here, but hopefully he'll answer. Let's see. Ted N says, do you think cruise casino have a lower RTP than land-based casino? I think they do. I think they do. We don't know. We don't know for sure because none of them publish it.
But don't be obsessed with RTP either. It's a historic base. Don't go on that for future use, either land-based or cruises. But cruises are generally bad because, they don't have to be good. They're international waters. What are you going to do? Sue them? No.
Well, they're still governed. But
right.
It's not like it's like a land-based casino is governed. It's a little bit different.
Exactly.
So,
and Davey, dude, what are your thoughts on cruise ship casinos? You're on a cruise ship for 3, 5, 7 longer days. You're gonna play, but the same thing. And on a cruise ship, as a rule, I do not play any slots on a cruise ship. I stay away from. I focus on table games, just because I don't know what the specific rules that they're governed to, because they may be Panama and they can just They can literally change the odds because they can do it themselves. They don't have a casino gaming commission or anything else like that.
Oh, I don't. I think they
them.
do. I think they do.
It's some do, but some.
I think they do, but
yeah,
it's just it's internet. It's like going to an international casino is what it is. They still have government and they still have commissions and stuff like that, but it's not the Wild West. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
but
it's not the Wild West, but I still wouldn't go with it.
Somebody did, I think on the Cowboy Slots forums, snapped a picture of the payback percentage settings on one of the games there because some tech was working on it.
Oh, nice.
And the dollar was at 83% and the $5 was at 88%, which is pretty low. That's low compared to. It's not terrible, but it's
terrible.
Low.
It's.
I don't think it's what you think. I don't think it's like 60% or anything like that. No, I mean it's got to be minimum. I still think it's in the 80s there. They probably don't have them in the 90s, but they have them in the 80s.
Well, yeah, try that one machine that's in the 90s.
Yeah, right. Okay. Okay,
the one machine that's in the 90s.
No, I think if any time you should really pay attention to your budget, it's on a cruise ship. That's from personal experience.
For sure.
Because they make it really easy with your ship and sail card to just easily load money into the slot. And so you got to just pay attention. And it looks like Class 2 is VLT.
Class 2 is VLT. So that's why I always get that stuck in my head that if it's dependent on something else, it's Class 2.
Yeah. It could be.
And then from Janet, but will they take tax out if you hit a bonus off free play? Absolutely, they will. You hit a jackpot.
No matter how you spun,
over $1,200, it doesn't matter. They're taking that money, unless it's on a bingo machine at Winstar or Choctaw, or in Oklahoma, I should say, and each individual event is separate. So you could quite literally be playing on, let's just say, a $5 machine. One spin is $1,000. Then the next spin is $1,000, and the next spin $1,000. All these are independent events, and you do not get taxed on those independent events. So that's the one case where it's like independent events like that. But yeah, if you win on free play, absolutely, they are taking that money.
Yeah,
they will not miss that chance to tax you.
And remember that the slot machine doesn't care how the money was put into the machine.
Nope.
The slot machine itself, it doesn't care. So if you use free play, if you use real money, if you use a ticket, bonus play, whatever, when you hit that spin button, the slot machine only cares about one thing: what denomination are you set at and how much credits did you bet. That's it. It doesn't care how you put the money in. A lot of people say, oh, you can't win on free play because they have the machines, they're rigged. So if you put it on free play, you're not going to win. No, machine doesn't care. If you've got credits in the machine and you spin it, it's assuming it's put by cash or by any way means. It doesn't matter.
How quick would you hand over that tax money winning a jackpot on free play? I'd be like, take the tax money out. I don't care.
I know. Yeah, I didn't spend a dime on this. Yeah,
this is all your money, not mine.
Yep, that's true. Oh man. And since you guys have a lot of questions about VLT and virtual lottery tables or virtual lottery terminals, excuse me. Essentially, they look like slot machines. They act like slot machines. But again, like we were talking about with bingo, imagine just like a big dispenser of scratch-offs. And there's winners mixed in there. There's big winners. There's small winners. There's no winners mixed into this big stack. And every time a spin button is pushed, it dispenses the next one. And so that's what it just keeps doing until it runs through that book, and then it puts another big stack in, and that's how it's done. So VLTs are run by the state lottery systems. Oh, stupid Apple thing. The thumbs up. Anytime I want it to do it, it never does it.
I never do it.
And so it's run by the lottery system essentially, but they figured out a way to make it work with slot machines, so it's like visually like a slot machine. It's comfortable. That's why when they have the Class 2 bingo machines, the reason they have the real spin with symbols that you understand, like bars and cherries and sevens, is because people are more likely to understand what's going on there than it is to try to figure out what the bingo patterns and cards are showing. And so that's what they ended up doing. And so VLTs are the same thing. It's just the way that it is generating randomness and prize distribution is just different. It just acts different. But there are some things with VLT, like if you were to push the button at the same time as somebody else, then that means that if there is a winner coming, one of you could be a winner and one of you cannot be a winner, because you're playing against a group book of tickets instead of you versus the machine, which is what class 3 is, if that makes sense. So you versus the machine, class 3, you don't know what the hell's going to happen next. And on that, because you're playing as a group, like with bingo, you might see some instances where a lot of people are winning and then suddenly nobody's winning. And it's all about the prize distribution, like that. So it's very complicated. I'm not going to get into it tonight because I'll talk for hours on it. But all of those things, VLT, HHR, bingo, all of those are just ways to skirt around the law. Yep. Different classification, but different ways of just producing randomness in what you see in the prizes that are being distributed. So that's all that really is at the end of the day.
And all right. One from Ryan here. What are some games you miss at Winstar and Choctaw? I feel like casinos in general have scaled back on licensed games, and it makes me sad. The good thing is that almost all of the bingo machines have no licensing to them. They're all made up characters like Lucky Ducky and Mr. Moneybags, Red Hot Ruby. They're not beholden to anybody for that money. So like your licensed games are, which we actually played this weekend at Winstar, was Frank Sinatra and the Johnny Cash game.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Those are licensed. The reason they're getting rid of licensed games is because they, cost a lot to have in this, they cost a lot to buy, and you always have to pay that license perpetually for that money. So you're, cutting into your profit and the casino profit. Yeah. So a lot of licensed games kind of go by the wayside. You always see ones like Sex in the City. You'll see Marilyn Monroe. You'll see all these pop up from time to time. Whitney Houston is a new one from IGT, and they sort of come out and they're there for a while and then they start to go away. It's just the nature of things. Yeah. They'll be back. It's like eventually they will be back.
The longest running one is Wheel of Fortune by IGT. And they just renewed it for, I think, another decade. So their Wheel of Fortune's not going away.
And that's Sony, right?
Yeah, Sony Pictures, yeah.
Can you imagine if Sony said, nope, we're done?
Yeah, well, I mean, IGT was nervous. I mean, it came up last year, I think, not nervous. I don't want to use that word. But, I mean, anytime a contract's about to expire, anybody gets nervous. What are they going to want, But they were very excited to be able to renew that for, I think it was 10 years. Don't quote me on that. But it's going to be around for longer, so.
Yeah. Oh, good question from Sherman. Mark, Dave, do you guys feel that a time limit should be set as well as a budget? That kind of depends on what your schedule is. I like the fact that you're like, oh, I'm only going to be here for 2 hours, but make sure that your budget reflects that 2 hours. So I wouldn't bring a budget for a whole entire day for 2 hours. If my budget is 500 for a day, it would scale down to about, 100, 150 for 2 hours. That's just me,
Yeah.
But yeah. And sometimes I have set myself a time limit of, okay, I got to be out of here at 4 because I got to do this. So that's a great thing to think about.
Yep. Very personal. Real quick, Vero, another Reno question. How are the slots at other casinos, El Dorado, Silver Lakes? I don't know. I've never been to those. So Dave, have you been to any of those?
Not in a long, long time. Like I have not been to Reno in this century. That's how long ago it's been.
Wow. So a lot's changed basically.
In this millennia, I have not been there.
That's so funny.
I probably should go back to Reno to give it another shot. I do not have fond
Lake Tahoe
of Reno.
That's where you need to go.
Now, Lake Tahoe is super nice, but I remember going there skiing as a kid. It's a great place.
This is a good one. Burgett says, Mark or Dave, is it better to stay on one slot or move around to get comps? It doesn't, like, here's what matters on slots is coin in. The amount of churn, and the word churn is how much that you are putting back into the machine. So if you win a cherry and you spin it again, that's more coin in. It's not actual physical coin in, like you putting more money in, but you're playing more. And that's why when people look at their win-loss statement, they always see these huge numbers, because like I think Tazzy or Joe said that we had like something like 7,000 and 9,000 in coin in. It sounds ridiculous at Choctaw because we only had $400 or $500, I think. It sounds ridiculous, but that's how much we won and then put back in and then won and then put back in and all that kind of stuff. So the longer you do that, the more coin in that you have is going to generate more comps. And so that's why, like, the worst, if you were to pick, let's say you had $100 and you had the choice of playing a dollar machine at $2 a spin or one spin on a $100 double diamond machine, you're going to generate more comps playing the dollar machine at $2 a spin all day long, because the first win that you get on that double diamond machine, the dollar one, whatever one you're playing, is already generating more comps than the $100 one, because you just did one spin at $100. It's 100 in coin in. That's it. Where if you play $100 on a $2 machine or a dollar machine at $2 a bet, you're probably on average maybe 200 to 300 in coin in, even if you end up back at zero on that machine. So you've generated $300 on that machine, but you only generated 100 on the $100 machine. So it's just all about playing longer. Okay. You got to and that's why we always talk about, for comps especially, is to play those lower volatility games to generate more comps and bankroll, because you're going to last a lot longer. You're not going to win these gigantic progressives. You're not going to get these gigantic bonus rounds. You're not going to get that stuff. But what you are going to get is a lot of coin in, because you're going to get these slow and steady wins that will just keep you playing and maintaining. So it's always better to look for those, especially for comp generation and making your money last. But the high volatility is where the risk is. If you're really trying to, hit it big, you got to play those, because that's where the big bonus rounds and progressives are, so there's a lot to it. But yeah, I hope that helped answer your question. Did I miss anything there, Dave? You're
no, not really. Just
king on the comps.
Don't try to ever play for comps.
Right.
You get the comps for your play, not trying to play for comps. You'll never win that game. You'll never win the comps game trying to get more and more comps for play, because it's never going to work the way you want it to work. So just play your game, play as you would normally play, and what the casino gives you is what they give you. And so always think about that. And I got some good, I don't know, I'm going to call them ego boosting ones from Davey Dude. Can we expect a Mark and Dave slot machine soon? Geez. I can tell you this, it would be a 3-reel. Yeah, for sure. It would have a bonus game. Yeah, and most likely that bonus game would be a
offer acceptance-ish
offer acceptance. But I would throw in a negative aspect to it. You can you can pick to have a chance at a double or a triple or a chance at 0. Just because screw with people.
So I think what they should do is, I would be the top line jackpot in my face. If your face comes up, they lose $100.
Or they get 5 credits.
Just kidding.
And then from Brian, I say Winstar should convert the Lightning Lounge into a non-smoking Gamble Smart VGT lounge.
Now you're talking.
All for it. I don't think we can come up with the Lightning Link money, but
yeah, I totally agree with that. That'd be real nice.
Totally be awesome. I mean,
I'd probably never leave that place.
I know where we go every single time, and put all our favorite games in there and be like, yes, vaping is smoking. Don't do that in here.
Yeah. Oh, I see this one real quick from Richard. If you win a jackpot in Cherry's Jubilee, would you stay on the same machine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Your odds are exactly the same the next spin of hitting it right again. I mean, it makes no difference. No difference at all.
And we saw that one lady on that one machine hit it 5 times.
Well, it wasn't 5, but it was when yeah, she did. I remember her. Yeah. Yeah, she hit it like 5 times that night. Yeah.
And one of those was like within 5 spins, maybe, of her starting to play again.
Yep.
I was so wanting her to get off that machine. She lost.
I kept telling her to get off because that was my machine.
just push her off her rascal.
Too funny.
What's the worst that can happen?
That's true. All right. Let's take a couple more. I still got to do the tip for tomorrow, so we're gonna have to get going here soon.
And I've got to send out 3 timer boxes, all bought by Katie. Thank you, Katie. If you're
Hey,
here,
Katie.
thank you.
All right.
Yep. 3 timer boxes. Our biggest one shipment of timer boxes, 3 at once.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
We've had people buy 3, just they generally buy 1 and then 2 after that when they get that first one in.
Right.
Okay, let's go, Richard, here. Are there Class 2 slots somewhere on the East Coast? Not that I am familiar with.
I'm not sure either.
If they are, they would be at some tribal casinos, the Carolinas, Ohio, maybe. I'm just not 100% sure there's any out there. I haven't heard of any, but if anybody knows, definitely let Richard know.
It's a good question.
That is good. Now I want to find out if there's one out there.
Right. And thank you, Kevin B, who's joining the after party on Discord. Yeah, we'll be there.
We'll be there.
Sure. After I do my tip.
After the tip.
Later tonight.
And I'll be packing up these things. Proud Monkey thought MGM was selling off or splitting with Nomad. So we have not heard anybody confirm that. We did hear that rumor that they were closing down the Nomad or doing the Nomad to be the same as Park MGM, but no one at the Nomad or Park MGM seemed to have that information. And while Mark did bring up a good point that he felt like the Nomad was kind of competing on the high end with like Aria and Bellagio and all that because of their offerings of their rooms, I kind of feel that Nomad still being at Park MGM, non-smoking, smaller casino, I kind of think they're filling that really niche market there of people who don't want to be in a big casino and don't want to deal with the smoking. So I really hope they don't get rid of it because I
hope
like
they don't
the
either.
Nomad.
I hope they don't either.
It is a great hotel within a hotel.
All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Wrap it up here.
We got a lot to do tonight. Get done.
So much.
We didn't get to everybody's question. As always, we will do these every single Wednesday. And we do have coffee and comments coming up very soon. Jody, get on that.
Yeah, Jody.
You're back from vacation now. Vacation. I wouldn't put it like that.
I don't know if a
bunch of kids in Costa Rica.
I don't know.
I know you're exhausted, but we should definitely do coffee and comments soon. That'll be a lot of fun.
Probably
so it was great seeing all you new folks in here tonight.
Absolutely.
Really did appreciate you guys coming by, and thank you for all your support. Hit that thumbs up on the way out if you don't mind, and let your friends know if they want to become smarter gamblers, they got to come watch us. It's really
make sure they subscribe, make sure they like.
Yeah.
Tell them all about it.
That's right. All right, guys. We will see you on the next video, whenever that is. And as always, gamble smart,
gamble safe.
All right, bye, guys. Have a good night.
Weekend, everybody.
Mm-hmm.